Once upon a time, in a small African village nestled among lush green hills, there lived a beautiful young lady named Ekua. Her skin was as rich and dark as the fertile soil, and her eyes sparkled like the stars that adorned the night sky. Ekua had married her high school sweetheart, Mensah, and they had built a life together filled with love and laughter. However, there was one sorrow that weighed heavily on their hearts: Ekua could not bear a child. For years, they prayed and hoped, but the joy of parenthood eluded them. The villagers whispered about their childless marriage, and Ekua felt the weight of their expectations. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ekua sat by the fire, tears streaming down her face. She knew she had no choice but to seek a solution. With a heavy heart, she turned to her younger sister, Adjoa, who was known for her kindness and wisdom. "Adjoa," Ekua said, her voice trembling, "I cannot bear a child. Our marriage is incomplete. Will you marry Mensah as a second wife and give him the children he desires?" Adjoa's eyes widened in shock. She loved her sister dearly, but this request was beyond anything she had imagined. Their grandmother, a wise old woman with silver hair, saw the turmoil in Adjoa's eyes and intervened. "Child," the grandmother said, her voice soft but firm, "sometimes sacrifices must be made for the greater good. Ekua's happiness lies in your hands." With tears in her own eyes, Adjoa agreed. She married Mensah, and the village celebrated their union. Every night, Ekua lay in bed, listening to the sounds of love and longing coming from the room next door. She sobbed silently, wondering if her husband was making love to her younger sister. Months passed, and Adjoa's belly swelled with life. She gave birth to a healthy son, and the village rejoiced. But Ekua's heart remained heavy. She longed for a child of her own. Then, miraculously, Ekua also became pregnant. Mensah's joy knew no bounds, but he wished he had been more patient, more understanding. Both sisters now lived under the same roof, their hearts entangled in a web of jealousy and pain. Ekua treated Adjoa and her son poorly, unable to bear the sight of their happiness. Adjoa, too, felt torn between love for her sister and the duty she had undertaken. One fateful day, tragedy struck. Ekua's son fell gravely ill and, despite their desperate prayers, passed away. Mensah's grief was immeasurable, and he drowned his sorrows in alcohol. He mistreated Ekua, blaming her for their misfortune. She contemplated suicide, feeling utterly alone. But the local church offered hope. Mensah attended therapy sessions, and with time, he recovered from his drinking habit. Realizing the depth of his mistakes, he decided to seek forgiveness and redemption. He set out for the village where Adjoa had returned, selling food by the roadside with her son. When Mensah found Adjoa, she was surprised to see him. He apologized, and with the help of the community, they agreed to mend their fractured family. But Adjoa's sister was nowhere to be found. Later, a farmer discovered Ekua hugging a tree, her life extinguished by her own hand. Their grandmother, burdened by guilt, suffered a heart attack and passed away 2 days later. The village mourned, realizing that patience and compassion were virtues worth cherishing. Mensah and Adjoa raised their children together, teaching them the importance of love, forgiveness, and waiting for God's timing. And so, the tale of Ekua, Mensah, and Adjoa became a lesson for generations to come, that sometimes, the greatest trials lead to unexpected blessings, and that patience is a virtue that transcends time and sorrow. Glowing Star Herb. Remember, dear reader, to be patient in your own journey, for God's timing is always perfect. Person with folded hands sparkles.